Now at 10, a data breach may have exposed the personal and medical information of many Missourians. What you need to know to protect yourself. Plus, 2 4-state counties use technology to promote their communities. And the Pittsburgh community comes out to discuss the future of the city's Parks and Recreation Department.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri residents with Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, you might have received a data breach notification letter in recent weeks. This is KOIM News. I'm Dow Quick. Millions of Americans are dealing with compromised personal information, including social security numbers and addresses. Adam Woodbury explains what you need to do to protect yourself.
The biggest impact individuals are going to feel about a data breach is most of the time it comes through no fault of their own.
During his 20 years in cybersecurity, Matt Powell, the executive director of the Missouri Cybersecurity Center of Excellence, has seen his share of data breaches.
And you kind of feel helpless in that scenario because it's not like you went out there and plastered your social security number, your address, and your credit card number, and your secret question answers to the whole world, but one of your trusted partners did.
Recently, millions of Americans got a letter in the mail from Conduent Business Services. The company provides printing and mailing services for other businesses. It says it had a massive data breach. Whoever did it was in the company's system from October 21st, 2024 through January 13th, 2025. Conduent says the personal information stolen came through its clients. It didn't specify which companies, but said it was your current or former healthcare provider. Powell says one of his coworkers came to him with the Conduent letter. One viewer on Facebook commented about getting 5 different notices for medical data breaches over the last year, and if that seems like a lot, well, it may not be a stretch of the imagination. Powell says if you get a letter, the first thing to do is make sure it's real. You can always contact the company directly for verification and start watching your accounts for any suspicious activity.
And in some cases, you may have to monitor these accounts for 6 months to a year afterwards, because just because you've been notified that your information was out there and taken, they could lay dormant for a while before they act on any sort of things against you.
He also recommends changing passwords regularly, have multiple passwords, and to talk to your banks. In the letter, Conduent also lists a few things that you can do. It also listed a few credit monitoring services you can enroll in free of charge for a year. But are they helpful?
I would say for the average person, there's a value to that. Unless you are just actively monitoring all of your digital footprints out there, it's going to do that for you.
Another thing you can do is have your credit frozen. That'll keep a credit reporting agency from giving out any information regarding your credit report. Let's check in with meteorologist Austin Stantz now for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, thanks, Dow. So we got some stormy weather in the area. Nothing severe at this point. The latest severe thunderstorm that we had has since expired and moved out of the region as well. You'll notice that we do have quite a bit of showers and thunderstorms here. Notice how this linear development is beginning to move in here. So take a look. If you are on the west side of this line here, you are done with severe weather for the evening. If you are on the right side or the east side of this line, some of these storms are going to continue to push off to the northeast. Not expecting anything too severe out of this. A severe thunderstorm watch for the south central Missouri and into northwestern Arkansas. Those expire at 11 o'clock tonight. Now, we do have our alert days in place. Finishing up tonight, Friday, all hazards are on the table, so that's where our focus is shifting to. Coming up in my full forecast, we're going to break it all down.
See you soon. In addition to eliminating jobs, the closure of Hopkins manufacturing plant in Miami last week could create ripple effects for local auto shops. Since the plant's parent company, First Brands Group, develops and sells auto products, local repair shops could now face longer wait times and quality concerns as they search for replacement parts.
We don't go on the price as much as we do the quality, because we want to put the best parts on a person's car that we can. I mean, we give a 36,000 3-year warranty on all of our new parts. And when we put a new part on there, we don't want it to come back, or we've got to take, and eat that.
Vance Ford in Miami is expressing sorrow for the loss of the plant, given its meaning to the community, though they do not anticipate a negative impact on businesses at this time. 2 counties in the 4 states have found creative ways to promote their communities. KOIM's Nellie Lopez shows us how Cherokee County, Kansas and McDonald County, Missouri are using technology in 2 different ways to shine that spotlight.
Let me see if I can build an app to serve that need, and that is where Explore Cherokee County, Kansas came from.
That need be in one location to see what all a county has to offer.
Then you can go into town.
Sarah Comer created the app to show local restaurants, businesses, and events.
More visibility on the businesses, to get more visibility on the towns and the attractions, to keep people here in Cherokee County and be able to explore and experience all the cool things that we have in our county that people may not even know about.
Sarah also works directly with small businesses to help put them on the map.
Being a small business owner that hates technology, I'm relying on another small business to be able to do that. I'm hoping that this app will draw in not only the travelers, but we still have people in our little town that still don't know that I'm here, and I've been here for 3 years. But people are all about being on their phones and being on apps.
An initiative community members are taking to help boost traction. But Cherokee County isn't the only one. In Missouri, McDonald County is going a different route. The Chamber of Commerce is starting their own podcast.
Podcast will be about a 30 or hour long segment that just hyper focuses on that business owner, the history of their business, whatever they got going on, and whatever they want to use that hour.
A way the Chamber of Commerce is helping local businesses to promote themselves.
Everybody's either doing a podcast or listening to a podcast. They're very, very popular, and they're virtually free to do. So it's a very financially efficient way to get the word out about something.
Whether it be in an app or a podcast, just two different ways community members are trying to help out their counties. In the 4 states, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
The Explore Cherokee County, Kansas app is ready to be downloaded in the app stores. McDonald County Chamber of Commerce podcast, that's going to release its first episode next Wednesday, March 11th. Community members stepped up to the plate tonight to help shape the future of Pittsburgh Parks and Recreation. The department currently offers a number of activities: youth sports leagues, aquatic programs, disc golf, and adult fitness classes, just to name a few. Tonight's session at the Lincoln Center is the second of 2 town halls where residents shared their ideas for programming and facility improvements. The city's Parks and Rec Department is teaming up with Pitt State students to develop a strategic plan.
Every year we work with a community organization to provide a strategic plan for them, focusing on ways that they can meet the needs of the community better. And this year it just was fitting that we would work with Pittsburgh Parks and Recreation.
The students will use tonight's feedback to create a community survey launching later this month. Coming up, the next generation of healthcare professionals meet in Southeast Kansas for a hands-on career conference. But up first,
6 candidates and only 3 seats. I'm Blake Gully. Coming up, we continue our 3-night series asking the Joplin City Council hopefuls about homelessness and the city's response.
as the April 7th election approaches, we continue with our candidate series in the Joplin City Council race. 6 candidates are competing for 3 seats. Homelessness remains a concern for many residents and business owners in Joplin. On our 6 o'clock newscast, we asked 3 candidates whether the city is doing enough and what they would change. Tonight, we hear from the other 3.
When I first came into this 4 years ago, the homeless situation obviously is more complex than most people realize. But there was a lot of, there wasn't a lot of communication between all the different organizations and entities that help the homeless population. And so we've developed a homeless coalition. We're still wanting to look to get that hired, to get that director. But no, there's still a lot of work that we've got to do in the homeless population, the homeless situation. It's never going to go away.
So homelessness is multifaceted. It's not just giving addiction counseling or mental health counseling. There also needs to be affordable housing. Sometimes we have to aid these people into the workforce. It's hard to get a job when you don't even have access to a shower.
I would change the camping ordinance. I don't believe that ticketing an already under-resourced community does any good. By ticketing the unhoused community, the people experiencing homelessness, that provides a greater strain on their finances. So I would end the camping ordinance and then work with Section 8 ARPA HUD to try to implement more affordable housing.
Tomorrow night, we conclude our series asking all 6 candidates what motivates them to pursue a seat on the Joplin City Council. The Inspire Health Foundation is helping grow the next generation of healthcare professionals, hosting local high school girls for a hands-on career exploration conference in Pittsburgh. High school students from around the area learn from professionals in fields like family medicine, dental, pharmacy, and nursing, while taking part in interactive activities including mock forensic nursing exercises, simulated skin biopsies, and pharmacy demonstrations.
It impacted me because I just get to, hear so many different voices and hear so many different stories, honestly. And just hearing the stories kind of just opens my heart and just makes me feel a different kind of way, because I would have looked at that woman and I would have never thought that somebody could go through that.
Even for students who choose a different path, organizers say the experience still matters because understanding how the body works and how to navigate the healthcare system helps build healthier communities for the future. A little bit later, the birthplace of Route 66 announces the lineup for its centennial celebration.
And while storms are moving out of the area tonight, severe weather is not out of the forecast this week. Details coming up.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
That was a bit of a stormy midweek for us, and taking a look at the Skywatch storm tracker, we still have storms pushing off to our northeast this evening, but you'll notice a clear cutoff here. Take a look as we head throughout tonight. If you are on the west side of this white line here, so Pittsburgh, Nevada, Chanute, Independence, Bartlesville, you're done with thunderstorms for this evening. Now, if you're on the east side of that white line, just a few showers and thunderstorms to deal with here as they're continuing to push out of the area late tonight. Nothing anticipated to be severe, especially once we get west of Monette, so into Joplin, Miami, Grove. Things are just a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. And really, the severe threat is already dying down tonight. The severe thunderstorm watch goes till 11 o'clock tonight, likely going to expire at that point and not going to have to deal with much for this evening. Now, our attention and focus shifts to Friday, where all hazards are going to be on the table across the 4 states region. That does include a couple of tornadoes possible as well. So the rest of the night tonight, a 2 out of 5 off to our southeastern counties, but those storms beginning to move out now. So again, mainly a wind and hail threat there for us. But as we make our way throughout tonight, we're going to see temperatures fairly mild for us. That's great news. Temperatures going to fall to right around 50 degrees tonight. We're going to see things quiet down after midnight tonight. Tomorrow, 65, an isolated shower, thunderstorm, mostly cloudy here. Not expecting too much out of this. A marginal risk for our northwestern counties. This is actually going to be for Thursday night into Friday morning. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Take a look here. Thursday night, we start to have some storm energy start to move into the area. This is where storms can tap into the environment, start to strengthen a bit. There's not a lot happening here, but watch what happens as we head into Friday. Take a look at how dark that gets there. That is intensification and just a whole lot of storm energy. This is going to be the most unstable environment in the atmosphere on Friday. We're likely going to see a few supercells develop in this area and start pushing east into the region on Friday before we see that turn into a linear event and then start dealing with some damaging wind gusts. A 3 out of 5 across a big portion of the 4 states, so an enhanced risk. And what does that mean for us? Well, all hazards are on the table. An elevated tornado risk, same for large hail, a high wind risk, and also heavy rain as well. Could even be dealing with some localized flooding with how much rainfall that we saw. So let's talk about this a little bit. Here we are Thursday, heading into Thursday afternoon, 65 degrees, not too bad. Here's Thursday night. We saw that 1 out of 5 there. Some showers and thunderstorms push through the area there, begin to weaken as they move through. We see a clearing here, allowing the atmosphere to recharge once again. 75 degrees in Joplin by Friday at 4 o'clock here. So what happens here? A few supercells develop out ahead of this line, push east here. We'll have to watch that. Then that line will continue forcing its way in, giving us some damaging wind gusts. Look at how fast those temperatures drop. 6 a.m. Saturday, 46 degrees. Let's talk about your 10-day forecast. We have our alert day for Friday, but we're not done with severe weather after this weekend either. We have to look ahead to next week on Tuesday. So it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride for us over the next week or so, but then things quiet down for a little bit.
At least for the time being, and of course, we still have most of severe weather season ahead of us.
We sure do.
Thanks, Austin. Organizers announced the musical lineup for the Birthplace of Route 66 Festival this August 7th and 8th in Springfield. The bands are Six Wire, Members Only, and the Emerald City Band. The mix of local and out-of-town performers will put on free concerts both days. Registration for the car show is now open. This year's festival marks the 100th anniversary of Route 66, and the Car Festival coordinator says that's what makes this event truly special.
It's got to be the 100-year anniversary. Basically, we'll never be able to celebrate this again, and when they do celebrate again, will there even be cars around at that time? So I think it's just so unique that it happened in our lifetime.
Custom car designer and TV personality Dave Kindig will also make appearances. He's going to be there on both Friday and Saturday. Still ahead, 4 of our Southeast Kansas high school basketball teams look for a spot in the sub-state championship games. And the Gorillas and Lions men's basketball teams fight to keep their seasons alive. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next in sports.
It's day 1 of the 2026 MIAA Basketball Championship as the Gorillas and Lions men's teams fight to keep their seasons alive. 8-seed Pitt State tipping off the men's bracket against the 9-seed Central Oklahoma. First half, Gorillas trailing by double digits, and the MIAA leader in assists per game, Mason English, drives and dishes to Donald Coates for the lay-in. Moving to the second half, Parker Hanna on the run in transition for UCO, putting on the moves with Euro step and reverse finish. A couple possessions later, Broncos up by double digits once again. Jack Robinson with the drive and kick to Marcus Ziegler Jr., who drains the 3. UCO up 14. It's do or die time for PSU. English swinging it to Connor Rogers, who fires from 3. Nothing but net, plus the foul cutting into the deficit. But it isn't enough. The Gorillas' season comes to a close with a 62-53 loss to the Broncos. 7-seed Missouri Southern battling the 10-seed Northwest Missouri in the nightcap. Opening possession for the Lions, Colin Ruffin drives and attracts the defense, leaving Tyrone Wright wide open underneath. He flushes it home for MSSU's first points. But the Bearcats have an immediate response. Jack Radigan with the give to Aiden Gare, and his dribble drive pull-up is good from mid-range. Lions going the other way. Ruffin this time calling his own number, backing down his defender and scoring off the glass. MSSU leading later in the half. Jaden Taylor down low to Wright, who goes to work in the paint and scores his second bucket as the Lions would their lead by 12. But as we go live, the Lions cling to a 90-85 lead in the final minutes. And on the high school level, a few of our 4 states, Kansas high school basketball teams look to advance to the sub-state championships. In Pittsburgh, the Lady Purple Dragons take on Washington in the Class 5A semifinals. Pittsburgh comes out hot. Sophia Heitrich heaving it down court to Ana Jorge, who beats the defenders to the basket and lays it in for the game's first points. Now Washington on the attack, but Angie Miller swats the ball away for the stealer. Miller with the no-look pass to Heitrich, who knocks down the triple. Purple Dragons dominating at the start of this one. It's freshman Kendall Alchemil in transition, laying it in to give Pittsburgh a 12-0 lead as the Purple Dragons cruise to the 63-18 win. In the girls' 3A quarterfinals, Girard hosts Riverton. Starting off in the second quarter, Rams trailing. After a missed Trojan shot, the ball takes a bounce right to Kinley King, hurling it down court to Ryland Thomason, who finishes with the layup. In transition now, Riverton moving the ball up quickly. Avery Barnett finds Thomason behind her. Thomason jukes the defender and drains the mid-range jumper to inch the Rams closer, but the Trojans wouldn't back down. Carson Oran poking the ball free right to her teammate Kennedy Keller, who pulls up and knocks down the jumper as Girard takes down Riverton 42-34. In the boys' 2A semifinals, Colgan takes on Udall at home. We're knotted up at 12 in the second quarter. Brady Patega driving. He finds an open Joe Lomshak, who pulls up on the spot and knocks down the jumper for the lead. The Panthers keep on rolling. Brady Crossland dishes it down low to Hardy Baker, who gets it to go through a sea of defenders. Now after some passing around the key, Gabe Brown bounce passes it back to Baker in the paint. Baker finishing at the rim to put the Panthers up by 5. They dominate in the second half to take down Udall 51-39. Well, it's a sad end of the season for the Gorillas, but hopefully the Lions can pull this one out in the final seconds.
And I have a sports update for you. Just got word from our director, Tim. MSSU won.
That's great to hear.
91-85.
They will advance to the quarterfinal matchups tomorrow.
Let's go Lions. We'll be right back. Well, it's happened again. Another Missouri kid gets stuck inside a claw machine. 3-year-old climbed into a prize machine at the soccer dome in Webster Groves, Missouri, while his dad was watching his daughter's game. This comes just weeks after firefighters had to free a 2-year-old from the very same machine. Crews have now built a special toolkit for the next time it happens. I guess inevitably it will. You would think a claw machine is its own special toolkit for extricating what's inside, right? You just
I'm a little jealous I can't get inside one now. I'm too big for that now.
No, thank goodness, actually. Keeping an eye on the weather.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So if you're on the west side of this line tonight, you're done. All cleared. No more thunderstorms tonight. On the east side of that line, thunderstorms moving out by about 12 a.m. tonight. Severe weather kind of done for most of the evening.
All right, final sports note.
Well, Missouri Southern basketball just a few minutes ago took down Northwest Missouri to advance to the MIAA championship quarterfinals against 2-seed Central Missouri tomorrow night.
It'll be a challenge, but let's see.
It will.
I hope the Lions are up to it. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.